Good evening, my friends. I hope you're having a great Tuesday and been a little crafty. I have been pulling out all kinds of stuff from my arsenal, trying to figure out how we're going to do this chalkboard technique. So I see that Judy is on here. I see Justine's on here. I see a hello to Tara with Mayhem Crafts. So I'm assuming that she's on here. Not sure if I'm seeing her in the comments. There she is. Hi, Tara. Let's see if I've missed anybody else. Okay. So I made a pledge to myself and to my team that this year that Pajama Crafter Stamps was going to be an educational channel as well as a little bit of entertainment. And we're really going to dig into what our why is. And the why for me is you guys. I love serving my community. I love crafting. And I feel like we all, even though we might have scratchy voices, we all have something to say. We all have something to share. So we're going to kind of look at how to do these Craft Roulette parameters. Now, I want to start out by saying I made this this cover, this Pajama Crafter Stamps card sketch planner page. It's nothing special. I just did it for me. She looks a little Hispanic compared to what she looks like when she's professionally printed, but it's a home printer. Anyway, what I'm doing with this, I don't have any of the disc like for a Happy Planner, so I've got some of those coming. So all of mine are printed out. So I printed mine out on our marshmallow coloring paper because it's a great copy paper. So you can do your card sketch, you can do where you got your source, your date, and your supplies, colors used, which you all should know by now. I don't even know what I'm doing. But the project for Craft Roulette, if you're playing along, is an A7 project, which is 5x7. Colors are summer dessert. Element is a chalkboard, and random is a bottom border. I don't think that sounds too hard. So we're going to get into it, but I think the part that people maybe have struggled with is how to do the chalkboard. So we're going to look into ways to do the chalkboard, and then we will do a card. If you want to make a book like mine, and your printer will take like 100-pound or 80-pound cardstock, I would absolutely print this out and make your own. This is a free download when you subscribe to our emails. It's a pop-up as soon as you get there. And if for some reason you have a hard time accessing this paper, let me know and I'll email it to you. Not a big deal. Or if you want me to make you a book, I am sure we could figure it out, but you would have to buy your own disc, but I would punch it for you. All right. So that's where we're starting. And I want to talk about the chalkboard. And we are pulling out all kinds of arsenals today. So I have embossed two 5x7, actually they're 5.5 by 8.5 pieces of paper. And I want to go ahead and chop one down to 5x7 so that we have it. Let's see, am I missing anybody in the comments? Justine says, hey Joy, we hear you and see you. I love it. All right, so we're going to chop this one down to 5, and you know I've got to put my grandma readers on because I can't see. And 7, even though this is like a 6-inch trimmer, it's about the end of the trimmer. So, and I'm doing that so we have a few pieces of paper that we can play with. And then I want one that's going to be used for my background. So this one I'm going to put up here behind my phone so I can find it. The rest of them are play. So, as you all know, I am a cardstock snob, so I don't usually buy cheap cardstock. Not that there's a problem with doing that. So, like if you go to your big box stores, you will see papers that have like white core in it. So let's pretend that this has a white core in it. You can see my little piece of sanding block. You could sand that, so that you could sand it here, and that white core would show up behind there. I don't have white core to show you, but one way to get a chalkboard background easily is use a piece of white core cardstock, so it would be black on the outside and white in the middle. Then when you emboss that, you could scrape that off with a sanding block, and it can be like a fingernail block, it can be a sanding block, whatever, and that'll do it. Another way, this is Versa Magic Cloud White. I am sure that this is very dry, but you very lightly can rub that over it, and you get, I feel like, let's see. So that way you get a lot of your raised or embossed areas to show up in white. We are going to use that technique at some point. So that's one way to get a chalk background. If yours tends to be dry, this is Snow Flurries from Maker Forte. I don't know if they make this anymore, but I have a lot of re-inker. You get a much better, because it's wet. So now you can really see the detail. So imagine if we're scraping this along the edges. It's only going to get better, folks. Alright, so next I am going to take the bigger piece of paper and I have 2 texture pastes. Now everybody knows that I'm not usually the prepared person that has like all the tools out. So I'm going to dig for my spatulas, and if I can't find them, then I'll use my fingers. So the first one is Texture Paste Opaque Matte. This is by Ranger. Mine is probably a little bit dry, but you could literally smear some of this along to look like a chalkboard. I think probably using your finger might get you some better results, so it looked more like a student did it. So another way to get a chalkboard texture, I would recommend cleaning off your surfaces, and if you're doing it through a stencil, put that into like a bin or a plastic bag full of Windex and just let it sit to the side. I'm not using a stencil tonight, but I am going to clean off my tools. I wish I had a baby wipe instead of this towel. So this is our microfiber cloth that we sell as our stamp journey, and they all say fun little things. This one happens to say Live, Love, Craft. But they have all different sayings and all different colors. This is Grit Paste by Ranger and Tim Holtz. So this is more like the snowfall. I personally don't think that this is going to look much like a chalkboard. In fact, I'm just going to use my fingers. Because when that dries, it's going to get like a glistening feel to it. But you could definitely use it. So far I haven't gotten any stamps out. I haven't done anything that's earth-shattering, but look how like gritty and nasty that looks. It's just like makes the mixed media heart come up to life. So if I have any mixed media artists out there, this is for you. Have you made your CR card? No, I have not made mine. Okay, I think I just lost you guys. Let's see. It wants me to verify I am who I am. Alright, you know that no live goes unscathed by my crazy. So let's see if I can remember my password. have no idea what this is doing. Cancel. Let's try again. We're going to try to log in one more time and then I quit. Now quit that thing. We're not going to like take up any more of our time. Okay, it's not going to let me do that. So I'll tell you what I'll do is I will bring this up on my phone so I can see what you guys are saying, because I feel like all I can say is thank goodness I don't pay for help. Let's see here. Let's pull up YouTube. I'm a mess. It never... my YouTube on my phone saying I'm not live. This is fantastic, folks. Wow. Okay, it should be coming up. So I guess Justine was asking, have we made our Craft Roulette card yet? And I said no to it, and then my whole conversation on my computer left. But that's fine. So yes, it is a printable, and Lisa is clearly on here and is having fun at my expense. I am so glad that you guys have other people to talk to on here besides me, because I'm just the monkey that runs the show. All right, so then we can use our gel pens, and I use the Korean markers, and I use the Milky White. And then this is another way that you can get a nice chalky look. So you could color in all of your items with all of the Milky Way colors. So they do Star Sparkle, metallics, and oh, look at that orange. Star Sparkle, metallics, and Milky Way that you can use. But we're going to stick with the Milky Ways because this is what's going to show up. Now, one that I am not demonstrating tonight is you could use colored pencils. So you would start out by coloring your image white, and then you would use color on top of it so that it would show up. See how neat those look? And that's on black. So those are the Korean markers in Milky Way. So you want the Milky Way Deco Gel pens. Another fun way is to use your acrylic markers. This happens to be a Sharpie. Look how nice that shows up. That to me, folks, is like worth $1 million. So let's try some of the other colors. Here's a green. Some of them are broad tip, some of them are brush tip. The ones that I bought were brush tip. I got the bullet tip Creativation, but you can get all of these at Walmart. So whichever kind you prefer. But even this gray shows up like super cool, as if you're coloring with chalk. In fact, a lot of the chalk boards that you see at restaurants, they are actually being written on with acrylic markers. But look at this white. Now you know that I have new favorites. So we're gonna use them. We're gonna test them out. This is the Copic Acrea. Again, another acrylic. See how neat that looks? Now I think I have it in gold, or what is this? Sepia. This one I haven't even used that look. I have to like bleed it. But look how nice those turn out. So I am a fan of the Copic Acreas. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is what makes my heart happy. This is the silver. You guys, these are wonderful. I would store them with the tip down so that you can always have that blend and ready to go. All right, so this was the Sharpie. This was the gel pen. This is the acrylic paint that I got overzealous with. We're just going to keep on cleaning off my desk because right now we're just playing. We're not doing anything super fragile-istic expialidocious, okay? So this is a big 5 by 5.5 by 8.5 embossed sheet of paper, and this is for us to play with. And I'm trying to see where I have some of my stuff on it. Okay, we're gonna pull out the big guns, and I'm gonna start playing. So this is by Holbein. This is an acrylic paint. This is titanium white. And I'm going to put just a little dot of it down on my desk. See? So Tara saying that she's never thought about using her acrylics. They're water-based, so you can wipe them right off. And then Judy's like, those look phenomenal on black. So this whole chalkboard scenario that Mary blessed us with isn't so hard. Now I'm finger painting. Less is more. But look at it, if you just put it like on the edges. How cool that is. Does that not look like something in your kindergarten class, Justine? Like, who could ask for more? Now we're looking for my little spray bottle. This is just some all-purpose cleaner. Like I usually use Dawn spray and wash. In fact, I think I'm going to switch to that because I like it better. I like it the best. I like it the bestest. Okay. So far, I have not tried to sell you anything out of the Pajama Crafter line. I am here to play with you guys. I'm here to just give away what little bit of knowledge I have. And I'm learning with you. Because I think that's important. So these are by Arteza. And these are wash colors. Now everybody knows that I'm a big fan of teal. So we're going to put a little drop of that down. Oh, she looks like she's not been used in a while. She was coming out clear. I never said that that all my stuff is brand new. I will never lie to you. In fact, you know what? I had some things that I was looking for today. And I had a friend, I use the word friend lightly, come and she helped me redo my craft room a couple years ago. And I have yet to find the supplies that I am looking for. And to be quite honest with you, it really honks me off. But is that a word? Is that a thing? But every time I go to find my stuff and I can't find it, I get really mad. And then I wonder, like, did it get sold? Because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that the person who sold the stuff for me told me what it was, and I'm sure that I gave her my blessing. I'm telling you that I still think it should be in my room. All right, so now we're back. And we're finger painting again. And that's gouache. See how neat those colors are? And less is more. So think of like when you're doing like furniture finishing and you're trying to get like those colors in, you just want those sheens. But wait, there's more. There's always more. Gouache is a watercolor-esque type of item. So what if we decided to paint with them? I don't know. I don't paint that often. So we're going to get the tip of this. This is a number 4. Look, it still shows up when you paint with it. And depending on how much water, you can spread that out to be as milky or as chalky as you want it to be. So here we go. That is what, technique 570? I don't know, at least 3 or 4. Okay? I am washing this off, and again, I'm just going to use my handy dandy cloth here because it'll go right in the washing machine. And since all these are watercolors, they will come off. Doesn't mean that my hands aren't going to be like a filthy mess, but I mean, if you've been here for 5 minutes, you know. You already know. All right, let's see if I'm missing anything. What if you smushed an acrylic block and then rubbed across the embossing folder and stick it to the raised area? Yes, it would do the same thing. All right, let's see. I think I missed something. Said something. Tara says that she wishes she hadn't submitted her card yet. Well, you know what? You still have time. Aren't you a Patreon? You're a Patreon. You have until like Thursday at midnight or something. I don't know. Something crazy. All right. Now let's talk about these. I feel like I need to get all the mediums out. So now we've got the Tim Holtz crayons. Again, we're playing. I haven't even showed you one of our products yet, and that's just because I want you to learn something. I want this craft to be fun. Okay? So this is our picket fence to stretch crayon. Look at that. You're still getting a nice chalky effect. But what do you say, like, do we want white? I mean, I don't know. I always wanted, like, all the colors. All right, I still want all the colors. We're not even pretending. This is Kitsch Flamingo, one of my favorite colors. Now, I'm not too sold that that shows up great. That, to me, looks almost the same as the white. What would happen? Just curious. Because we're playing together now. What if we did white really hard? Like, I'm really putting pressure down. I'm sure you can see the shake at the table. And then let's use blue for the sake of being able to see things. See what I'm saying? Now that blue shows up. And you've got a whole nother color, just like you would if you were using regular colored pencils. So colored pencils are next. Where did my thingy kabobber go? These are, where'd the paintbrush go? Oh my gosh. And that would be why she's got more clothes. This happens to be a number 6. But we could still, because that's a watercolor pencil, we can still paint with those. Do you see how that works? I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of liking this gouache stuff the best. Who knew? Oh, I see where that pencil went, or that brush went. Okay. But there's more. Of course there's more. But you're going to watch me get up and go get the more. No, you're not. We're just going to flip this over. Here, my friends, do you remember these old friends? These are pan pastels. This is like a blast from the past. Now, I'm sure that I'm supposed to be using like a rubber tip or whatever. I'm using my fingers. You do you, I'll do me. Now, if that doesn't give you chalk, I don't know what doesn't. And then I'm going to use some of this bright red, because you all know that I love me some bright red. And let's wipe off the fingers. And let's use this like magenta. Okay? Do you see how chalky this is? Now, with pan pastels, normally you're using a stump. And by stump, I have a lot of these. You can use like makeup applicators. So don't let the fact that you don't have one of these doodads keep you from playing. But you can use this little rubber thing and you can put it down. And you can mix. But I think the real magic happens when you're on black and then you add the color on top, white and then the color. So this is where we're getting the dessert colors, okay? I'm trying to pull out old friends so you don't feel like you have to buy every single thing on the market. We all have stuff that we can use. Who remembers gelatos? Now, I need to clean off my hands. And yes, I am just using Dawn Power Wash to do that, and my dirty rag, because that's what I'm doing. We might, here, we've got another rag here. No, we don't. It's fine. Okay. Do you remember gelatos? Now this is a blast from the past, you guys. This is by Faber-Castell, and they're like little oils. Does that not say chalk? And then you can do that, or you can add some water, and you can spread those out. And then you can keep adding if you want more pigment. Okay? So you've got all kinds of mediums in your arsenals. You could use your distress crayons even. See how neat those are? You're getting so much texture. You're having so much fun. And then you can spread it out and do whatever you want with it. All right. So I'm going to dry this just a hair. Okay, so I want a disclaimer about the pan pastel. Have you noticed we haven't even made a project yet? Pan pastels are powdery. So you've got to set them so you can use your aerosol hairspray. I spend a lot of money on my hairspray, so I'm not doing it. I use matte finish spray or work it a fixative, okay? Usually I use the we're going to fix it. So you should do as I say, not as I do. Have a well ventilated area, and you want to make sure this is nice and shook up. And you just lightly spray that and you're done. So that keeps that from, once it's dry, it keeps it from coming off. Which, let's see. I am breaking all the rules. Somebody's yelling at me that their asthma's acting up. I hear you. But it keeps it from rubbing off. It just seals your card. So, quick question, other than the fact that I broke every rule of the game so far. Like I told you everything not to do. Are you having fun? I'm just real curious if are you having fun? Because the most important thing is that you're having fun. Now we're going to get into the actual card making. I am going to pull the water off to the side because I am accident prone. So maybe I should clean this off just a hair. One more thing that I wanted to show you before we go all kinds of crazy. This is a small piece of black paper. And one of the things that I failed to show you was that you can use your embossing. Wow, this has seen some better days. Mind you, I did not use an embossing powder tool because I want mine to be a hot mess. Okay, this is just a spare piece of paper. So that was just white embossing powder. And let's say we don't want that all in this, taking up all that prime real estate. Okay, so we can leave it kind of gross. So you ideally would do this with a brush, but I don't know where our dry one is. And then I'm going to funnel the dry back into my powder. And you can do this with any color. I did not melt mine all the way. Once that dries, I'm going to brush some of it away. So we get that true chalkboard feel. I've got to wipe this desk off. It's making me gray. Now, Justine, you're the kindergarten teacher. Does that not look like your chalkboard at home or at school? It does. So now let's get into the card making. I want to take a piece of black paper and I'm going to chop it down to 4x6 for right now because our card is 5x7. going to use my Misty. Okay. I am a big fan of this Not So Happy bunny from the Funny Bunny. So we're going to use Everything Will Be Fine, okay. But the sentiments do say, you blow me away with the gum. Plotting revenge is fun. Someone said carrots would be good for my eyes for the girl with the glasses, and thanks for sticking it out with me. I would like to, I don't know, maybe do a couple bunnies, but we need to do, like, place the, we're going to kind of, like, place our sentiment. Okay. Everything will be fine. And if you notice, I'm wearing my shirt that says, it's fine, okay. I'm just building I'm just trying to see what I want to do. Okay. I'm going to stick with these two. And I'm trying to get these nice and straight. If you had a T-ruler, you definitely could use that. Ah, that one didn't stick. Darn it. I'm always so worried about getting things straight. I guess this would be the kind of card that if you didn't, that you could go wonky. All right, this time I am treating this with an anti-static power tool. This is my favorite power tool. And I don't care that this looks dusty because that's just going to add to my chalkboard look. I am going to use my VersaFine ink if I can find where the heck I put it. You guys, I would lose my head if it weren't attached. When in doubt, you just grab another VersaFine because you know I've got more than one. It's right in front of me, y'all. So I know most people put their stamps over here and then close it from the right. I guess I'm backwards. I always put my stamps on the left side. I don't know. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I'm missing a lot of comments, so listening and shopping, trying to figure out which pressing tool I want. I go for the frog. The ghost is good too, that's for sure, Tara. Lisa's a fan of the sleeping cat. I like the dachshund. Actually, I like the pig the best. Lisa's saying that I could put down a a die cut down and do like a chalk line of a dead cat. Yeah, that might have like hit home a little too much today. So I'm using my pink press. Now I do have an uneven spot in my stamping mat, so we might need to do this again. Nope, it worked out perfect. Okay. We are going to wipe off this cute little guy because we're going to use him again. But let's go ahead and emboss so that way we don't lose the stickiness. And again, if this is not perfect, I am not going for perfection because I am trying to make it look distressed and chalky like a chalkboard. And then I'm going to funnel that back in. So if you are new to this channel, we are so glad that you are here and that you found us. Maybe you found us through Craft Roulette. We are sponsoring Craft Roulette this month. So that means every Friday, if you watch and you participate and make comments in the chatter box, then you will be eligible for a prize. There's several different sponsors. We are one of them. And one lucky recipient in the United States will get a $25 gift voucher from us, but Craft Roulette will be the one that hands that out, not me. Keep my heat gun in a hair dryer bin, so it's down on my cart next to me. And I just do that because it keeps it from hitting the floor, it keeps it from starting a fire, and it keeps me from getting burnt. And those are all very important things in my book. Now where did our cute little rabbit go? Because we're still sticking with the rabbit with the attitude, and I am just wiping her on my... I'm just getting all the gunk off. Now you could just spray it down and wipe it with a towel, but my towel has so much crud on it that I'm just winging it here, you guys. So I'm going to put the okay, and if you know me, okay is a real thing around here. And we might stamp that okay more than once. I'm just trying to get my animals in and stamped. And now I'm going to treat my embossing again with my anti-static powder tool. I'm using my VersaFine Clear because we're going for the chalkboard look. And you know we're not done. I mean, we are not close to being done. But I always like to emboss in steps. That way we don't have any fading or any whoopsies. Let's get this foot real good. Alright, sorry for the table shake. Now you notice that I heated it from the front and the back, and that's because that will keep your paper from warping the most. I mean, you'll still get some, but I'm a dimension queen, and I'm going to add some really good glue, and I'm going to add some foam tape. Let's see. Hi Sandy, how's your husband doing? You'll have to send me a message and let me know. We don't need to talk about it on this live unless you're inclined to do so. He has been in my thoughts and prayers, so have you. Von Marie says the chickens crack her up all the time. The chickens crack me up too, but this funny bunny for some reason has really stolen my heart lately. Okay, we are now going to do the fine and the okay in the several different places, because if you know, you know, but I'm always like, okay, okay. And I always say I'm fine. And when a woman says they're fine, they are not fine, gentlemen. Know that it's time for you to pay attention to the writing on the wall, because when a woman says fine, I'm fine, okay, they're not fine and they're not okay. And it's time for you to say, what's going on? Just saying. I feel like there needs to be a fine there. And an okay up there. Like, I'm not trying to make this say like a real sentiment. I'm making a design out of words, just so that you're aware of what I'm doing. I'm just doing me today. I've got a cold. I'm sorry for the sniffles. In fact, talking has been more difficult than usual. But, you know, sometimes you just have to show up despite the things. So yeah, Sandy, if you want to send me a text or call me tonight, I would love to talk to you and, you know, be a friend. Vaughn, I'm doing better than I was the other night. My cold is secondary to being out in the cold in New York, but whatever I had going on with my stomach that landed me in the ER, I have no idea what that was. I still have testing coming up, but I have been fine the last couple days, so that's been nice. We're doing one more fine and then we're done. We're done with the stamping anyway. Because, I mean, I think it's kind of an overkill at this point. And you notice that I had some stray bits of embossing, and I don't care. Now, it's not that I don't care. I mean, I love the card. But we are going to chalkboard this up. So, you know, sometimes you just have to go with the crazy. Meaning me. So I'm inking up that VersaFine again, Versamark, excuse me. I am using a little bit of that powder for good measure. Yeah, so it was like down to 5 degrees at one point, and then at other times it was like in the 20s, but it was a constant, you know, like 4 hours of standing in the line in the cold, and then we went on top of the Rockefeller Center, and we were in the constant cold and heat there. Oh, hello. Hello, stupid. Meaning me. You forgot to use the embossing powder before you hit it with the gun. See, y'all get me all discombobulated. See that? See how I didn't get that embossing powder? I didn't get that powder over there, or the anti-static. We're going to leave that there. Now, if you were doing a clean cut card, you would use that paintbrush and you would just wipe that off. I want that to be there. In fact, I'm embracing the crazy. Alright, I want to know what you guys really think. So tell me in the comments. Do you really kind of want me to leave this just like this? Or do you want me to like use the dessert colors? I have to use the dessert colors somewhere because it's a parameter, but I think this is cool as all get out with just black and white. Like, it is going to hurt my soul to paint these little guys. I'm not gonna lie. But we're doing it. I'm so glad Jeff's home too. I'm glad he's home. I'm not gonna use the gel pens. I really, really liked the gouache. So for me, I'm going back, since we're using dessert colors, I want a pink. That says real coral. We might use a real coral. No, we'll use a pink. We're going to use bubble gum. And you know the heart wants a teal. She really wants a turquoise or a teal, so we're going to go for it. Now, my favorite color actually is lime green, so it's a miracle that I'm not using the lime green. But I only have 2 rabbits, 2 color. Isn't she cool? Now I'm thinking before I add the water that I need to add a little bit of the distress. So I'm going to get out a little bit of the Snow Flurries ink. Oh, this hurts my soul. Let's see if any embossing folder or embossing powder will stick to that after we just put it away. And I want it like super light, so. I just poured that down in my lap. That was awesome. Awesome sauce too, as I say, not as I do. It's fine. let's do this. I am putting my little kebabber in there so that I might have a chance of getting that junk off of my palette knife. Nobody said that I do things by the rules. Like, there are no rules in my craft room. Alright, so there's some turquoise and some bubblegum. These are all the pearl colors. Because, I mean, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it like pearlescent. Am I right? So, there's a rumor that goes around that I am not a watercolorist. And there might be some truth to that, but there might be some misconceptions about that situation too. So, I think I'm better than what I'm given credit for sometimes. So we're just kind of putting it dark around the edges. And what's nice about gouache is that you can layer it. So the more you put it on there, the heavier it's going to be and it'll be more translucent, okay? Now, if I thought that I was truly watercoloring right now, my technique would be completely off. We are trying to make this look like a chalky mess. Okay. So while I let that dry, I'm going to come in with this turquoise. And I dried off my brush a lot, and it's easier for me to draw looking at, or paint looking at him, so. Be sure to steam what? Oh. So Von Marie's saying that she's never seen these paints before. I used to watch Mary Polanco back in the day, and she was always into trying all the new things. And Arteza truly has some really nice artist grade stuff that's not like super expensive. So that's why I gave them a try, because I am not, you all know that I like to cook at color. And so I'm going to spend my money on markers more so than paint. Now, don't get me wrong. I've got some expensive paints. I've got some of the Holbein paints and what are those called? Tombai, Gonzai, whatever paints. But I don't know. And I've bought some from some of the artists on that make their handmade paints on Etsy too. So I mean, I've got some neato petito stuff, but I'm just trying to prove that you don't have to have all the things today. Like, you guys, we have like a really weird, like, cool card. Alright, so now while that, I lied, I'm going to pick up a little bit. And what's nice about watercolor, if you don't like it, you kind of sop it up and it's gone. Alright. Now I'm going back to the pink. The pink isn't so pearlescent. In fact, I'm not sure that I love her. look at me really concentrating on this, like I'm like trying real hard here. I don't like this pink. We're going to add a little bit of that coral that I wanted to use to begin with. Looks so much better than, I mean, you guys, this is wash. You're not getting like, you know, a great like painterly effect, but I'm just trying to make it look like, you know, like a chalkboard, like a kid's chalkboard. If I was going after like perfection, I would be using like watercolor, or I'd be using my markers, or I'd be, let's face it, I would use just about anything else but this. I use these like once a year, and that's just to say that I have them. I mean, she looks a mess. Vaughn's, you know, being supportive. She goes, oh, she's so cute. I'm like, oh, God, no, she's not. She's ugly. So I'm just going to go back to him and just add just a little bit of color. I actually think he looks more like fine and aggressive, like he is. Like, I kind of like him with the black showing through and kind of his like attitude. Now, you know the saying is if you don't like something, you can always splatter the heck out of it. We might do that. So, in the meantime, I want to add a little bit of texture to the sides, and I'm using my fingers. Vaughn says she doesn't think that these bunnies cannot be cute. I agree. So this is the texture paste. You can use a knife, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm trying not to have a floating bunny. Oh, this is getting gritty. This is getting gritty, gritty, gritty. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone and let it dry. And I'm gonna squirt off my fingers. So our next thing I All right, let's get this out of the way where I'm not going to have a disaster. No disasters for Joy today. None, none, none. Okay. So a 5x7 card, if you are new to card making, is 10 by 7. So it is 10 wide, 7 long, okay? And I'm pointing that out, so if you are not used to what an A7 card looks like, you now know, because you've got to do it for Craft Roulette. So a 5x7 card means that you would go right here at this 5 mark. I always do this sideways, you guys. So you would go to the 5 and go straight down. I always flip mine over. My little dog's starting to get impatient. He's wanting to walk around. And if he starts doing his little Yorkie bark, we're going to kick him out of the room. So then I fold it over. I keep it butted up into the corner. And I take my bone folder and I reinforce that score. I then flip it over and do the same thing. Because I like a really nice score. Alright, since we have a black card base, buddy, if you start barking, you're going outside and you're going downstairs with your dad. So you're going to have to talk Sean language. Which means you're actually going to have to say what you mean. So this one we're going to go down to 4.5. Then we're going to do 4. I like a wide border. And we're going to keep it at 6. Save those for later. And where's my glue? You said it looks very chalkboardy with some sass. Thank you. That's what we're going. That's what we're going for. So I am going to use our new fancy corners. These are self-adhesive. And I know it's going to be black on black, but that's fine. So all this do is stick on there. In the corner. And hopefully they don't stick onto your fingers like they were for me. They are self-adhesive, but I'm only using it on one corner. Gracie says hello if you didn't hear her scream. And if you're new here, this Gracie is the umbrella cockatoo that we have. And I'm going to use another one of these down here. So now it kind of looks like it's a little, like a menu. Alright. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take another piece of paper. And I'm going to do a small border of white on the front of this card. And I'm going to take that down to, it's 5 by 7, so 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, which I'm guesstimating to be about right there. Let's see how close I was. I'm way off, so I need to chop that off by, I don't usually eyeball stuff, you guys, but sometimes you have to. Alright, that looks good. And this is our Barely Art glue. And I'm putting that down as straight as I possibly can on camera. The other thing that's nice about our pet presses is you can also use it to like straighten out your layers, like to keep it from bubbling up, you know. Alright, next we are going to use this, and we are doing 4.5. No. Yes. Hold on. What did I do that one at? Help me. So we're going to do it at 4 and 5/8. I veered off what my original plan was, so we're eyeballing. Wow. Alright, now I'm going to get out some of this titanium white, because I think I liked that the most. And I'm going to finger paint again. Let's see, we can actually... You all, I despise these flat foam. I always use the dome foam. But I think the flat helps pick up some of the texture without getting too messy. Okay. And that's probably going to be trashed, I'm not going to lie, because acrylic paint is just going to wreck it. Now, realistically, you would have a bucket of water next to you that you could dip into, but this Dawn Power Wash is going to do the trick for us. I'm going to heat this just a hair. See where we're at on here. That's looking really good, you guys. I'm gonna flip this over. I like some dimension, and since this is a 3D embossed layer, I want to get some extra. Now y'all know that I can't like glue anything down straight, so I'm gonna use my Barely Art. Yay, Shiloh made it! Girl, I had some technical difficulties too. It must be in the air. Or it could be our age, it could be menopause, I don't know. Whatever we want to claim it to be. Alright. So my husband just left to go get our dinner. So that's why Gracie is screaming, because he knew that the place that we're ordering from closes. So y'all are going to laugh. This is so Kentucky. There is this great restaurant that is attached to the gas station by us. They just opened within the last couple of months, and they have the best gourmet burgers you can want to have. So anyway, yeah, we are doing that for dinner. And I think I want to chop him down just a little bit. Not my husband, though, the hard. I mean, if my husband misbehaves, then he miss him too. Need to clean off this trimmer. She has seen some better days. She's got a lot of wet, grimy stuff on her. So, now I am going to take the white fancy corners and I'm going to put one up here. Now mind you, these are self-adhesive, but right now they're wanting to stick to my finger because my finger has more stuff than the card does on it. You know what I mean? So sometimes, let's give it a pop of something. Let's do something different. Let's not use the white. Let's make it look like a chalkboard from high school. Let's use the craft. So Bond's making spaghetti and meatballs. Oh my God, that sounds so good. But yeah, as soon as he left, the bird decided she was going to show her butt. I will say that Gracie has been way better lately than she's been in a long time, so I'm probably overdue for her to have a tantrum. Now, my biggest question is do we need to put one on each side, like on all four? Or do we leave it just like that so it pops? I think it looks like a school chalkboard by having the brown wood around it. So do we need 4? Let's just see what that'll look like. We can always decide. Heck no. I'm really into we're going to leave all 4 on. I am going to, even though these are self-adhesive, I've got so many wet products on this card that I want them. So I'm with you, Shiloh. We're going to Butters, that's enough, sweetheart. I love you, but you gotta stop barking. Or do you want to come up here on camera? Which is it? There's something going on in your little heart that says, I want to be seen. What do you guys think of my ridiculously mixed media card? I think she's perfect, personally. But I want to know what you think. And I think that she needs some sort of embellishment, because, I mean, they all need that embellishment. So we're going for the little red heart, because if you know me, a red heart is my love language. And if you didn't know that about me, then you don't know me at all. But you should never be surprised that I want the red heart. Like I said, you don't know me at all if you don't know that I need the red. I'm not saying that you guys have to know me. I'm saying that the people in my life who do know me should know that I need the red heart. So I'm getting out my crafter's wand, which we do have in the shop. Very popular because it actually works compared to some of them that are on the market that don't pick up a dang thing, which makes me wacko. Oh, you want a heart on the bunny's tummies. Alright, we're going to get out the dessert colored ones for that. I know what you're saying. One thing that I would like to try to do, because I'm OCD, if I can find it. OCD and can't find it don't make sense. Like, you can't use those two things in the same sentence, but I want to erase this little doodad in the middle of her belly, because it's making me crazy. Let's see if I can find the clay hearts. I found white ones, but I want the pastels. I just saw them today. Yes, I did. So these came from Michael's 1,000 years ago. I have no idea if they still carry them. I would be shocked if they didn't carry something to that effect, because they should. So she's going to get a green one on her belly, because green is my favorite color. And this guy is going to get a pink one just to make him mad. Oh no, maybe he should get purple. He'll get purple. Purple and teal, so. So I think that this is the perfect mess of a card to send to your person who is struggling. Look at me, I don't even know which way's up. Everything will be okay, fine, fine, okay, fine. I mean, but did we not nail this? So, alright, let's go back over it. We had to do an A7. We had to do an A7. We had to do an element, we had to do dessert colors, we had to do chalkboard, and we need something, we need a border across the bottom. So guess what? We're going to give them a border. Bottom border, I just put the bottom border in. Now, would I have ever done that as a card design on this card? No. But we needed it. Is the parrot snoring. The parrot is actually downstairs. What you hear snoring is my 15... Oh my God, it was his 16th birthday. My 16-year-old Yorkie, who is snoring, and then my other one who's like 5 is here. Yes, it's Butters. All right, do you guys want to see Butters? Come here, Butters. Come here, dude. Come here. Now, don't judge his bad haircut, but isn't he the cutest thing you've ever seen in your whole entire life? His mama loves him. She's so lucky to be his mama. She loves him. Yes, she does. She loves her baby. Come here, little pipsqueak. And then this is Rupert. Hey, you need to leave my markers alone. His little tail's like, and he's beating him up. So yeah, those are my dogs. Now they're excited because I picked them up and now they're not going to be good. So, anyway, I love, alright, get out of my room. Bye. Okay. It would never be alive with me without some sort of craziness going on. What do you guys think of my card? I think it's really cute. I showed you like 5 techniques, if not more. And now if you ever have to make a crazy chalkboard card, you know how to do it, okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to go eat dinner. You have a good one. I will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Oh, I lied. I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Time. No, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Justine and I will be live, and we're going to do sneak peeks of the new release that comes out on Friday. So Friday we have a new release coming out. And then next Tuesday I will be live again, so I'll see you there. Bye, toodles!